It's November 12th. November 12th. Um, November 12th, 2024. Mr. Oliver Pichardo Spayet is on Instagram on all his sketches tonight. I report most wanted. Eli, have you seen a salesman that goes on the streets and he goes, tomatoes, 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 plantains, plantains, plantains. And he goes, avocados, 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 CDs, CDs, CDs. Radios, radios, radios. DVDs, DVDs. I go on the streets and I say, a report most wanted by the FBI. I report missing persons. Because I want to. Because I can. Because I'm not afraid. And I don't hide. From the supermarket to my house, nobody stops me to ask me any questions or to interview me. You know why? Because of racist people like Marco Rubio who erased my name from the world. Why would you do such a thing, so racist, to erase my name from the world? CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, Telemundo, Univision, I got it memorized because I'm a journalist. They don't stop me to interview me. I have the Constitution book in my office. Over here. Over here. I don't hide. I don't lie. I tell the truth. Whenever the fuck I want. If you don't like police officers from Connecticut, you should tell the world why. In my mother's account, Armida Arte, there's a police officer from Connecticut. His name is David Goodwin. And one day he told my mom that I am an honorable man. True story. Go ask Officer David Goodwin from Connecticut to repeat it on camera. So millions of people around the world and in America can see it on a video. That he told my mother, Armida Mercedes Payaviso, no de Pichardo, that I was an honorable man in Connecticut. So every now and then I post a picture of a police officer from Connecticut because I used to serve coffee at Dunkin' Donuts to Middletown police officers. So yeah, it's really racist how I have 25,000 to sometimes 33,000 people that view my content a month. And I get no comments because Marco Rubio wants to erase my name from the map illegally without mentioning my name in public. You know why? Because he robbed me my prosperity. He robbed me my position in government. Because I reported a most wanted, I know about Amazon. I know about Flaming Grill Buffet. I know about Trinidad Hospital, Cornerstone Hospital. I know a lot about New Jersey. And Marco Rubio is one of those senators that works for Cuba, doesn't care about America. He also lied to English-speaking Americans and officials in government and senators and congressmen and governors. And guess what? His family doesn't even speak English, doesn't even speak Spanish, doesn't even go on the camera. So never hire a senator that their family doesn't even speak English, not ever make a speech, because they are the worlds for the future. Those people that were raised by parents who the man of the house was a senator and he doesn't ever say thank you. He also doesn't report missing person, doesn't report most wanted, will never call on the phone Christopher Ray about 4 most wanted by the FBI in New Jersey that were seen by Oliver Pichard Espaillat, an American citizen. He will never call Alejandro Mayorkas, neither, about human trafficking, tinted window vehicles, and brandless vines that destroy the world. Guess what? I'm not a slave. I'm not a slave. God created names. God created human beings so they can have a name. My name needs to be mentioned. My name is Oliver Pichardo Espaillat. My name needs to be mentioned because we're not a nation of slaves. 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 We are not a nation of slaves. I got the American flag here to tell you, Marco Rubio, we are not a nation of slaves. We have a dollar bill system. We have Americans with bank accounts. We have Americans that deserve to be paid for reporting most wanted, for participating in government, for participating in the intelligence community as an intelligent analyst, for participating in this society to tell the world that tinted window vehicles, brandless battery bikes, solar panel, Petra Solar, the ban on self-serve gas station, the ban on plastic bags in New Jersey destroy the world. I'm not a slave. I'm not your son, Michael Rubio. I'm not your slave. You need to mention my name. You need to communicate. That's how God told me. That's how Jesus told me. That's how Virgin Mary taught me. That if they don't mention me, they don't love me, they don't like me, and they want to end my life. I'm not a slave. And I'm also the cousin of Feliberto Esteve, the official chef of Gracie Mansion for Mayor Bill de Blasio and Mayor Mike Bloomberg. True story, you can search it and ask the FBI, Homeland Department, the CIA, if it's true, or ask any of those mayors. Yeah, Filiberto Esteves is the cousin of my mother. And I'm still reporting about most wanted by the FBI. And Marco Rubio never wanted to call Bill de Blasio or Mike Bloomberg because he doesn't like English-speaking officers of the government. He doesn't like English-speaking only officials of the government. He wants to trick them and lie to them and translate to them incorrectly. So yeah, Mr. Marco Rubio, I'm not a slave. I'm not a slave, and you don't care for the arts of America. You don't care for the music of America. Your daughter is an adult who never opened her mouth. Never opened her mouth. She's an adult. 1,206,000 Americans died. Anthony Rubio is an adult who never opened his mouth. You know that's what creates suicide murders in Florida. You know, I searched the news like in Orlando, Florida, for example. A lot of people die of suicide murders, and it's because of silent Amanda Rubio and silent Anthony Rubio. They go like this. And guess what happened in Florida? Suicide murders. An entire family in a house. The father kills himself and kills the entire family. He first kills his entire family, and after he kills himself. A lot of those suicide murders happen in Florida because Amanda, under the American flag, will go like this. And Anthony Rubio go like this. While millions of people die, 1,206,000 Americans die. Suicide murders happen in Florida. Suicide murders happen in Florida. Suicide murders happen in Florida because Janet Rubio doesn't care for family values in America. Go search the news about Florida. Suicide murders happen under the administration of Marco Rubio as senator, as the vice chair of the Intelligence Committee. Suicide murder. An entire family with a house. They will kill their sons and daughters. They will kill their wife, and the husband will commit suicide. Suicide murders happen under the eyes of Marco Rubio, and he takes the cash. Suicide murders happen in Florida, in the land of Marco Rubio, who's a fucking criminal, corrupt. Who's Michael Mass, the creator of suicide murders, who takes a lot of money from, you know what? Dead bodies. 1,206,000 Americans died. They all dead bodies. They all have bank accounts. They all have vehicles. They all got properties. They all have retirement funds. They all got 401k. They all got savings account. Who stole it? Michael Mass, who let suicide murders happen in Orlando, Florida. Suicide murders happen in Florida. Suicide murders happen in Florida. I'm not a slave, Marco Rubio. You never publish my brother and sister are missing because you're racist. You're racist. Racist is this, Amanda Rubio. While millions of people die around the world. That's her face. She doesn't want to open her mouth. Not even for Floridians that died. You know that the data used to mention, the wiki data used to mention about the states. So they were not all together like one country, all the data number of deaths. In Florida, there were a lot of people that died. In California, a lot of people. So the top three with the highest number of deaths were California, New York, and Florida. The three top states with the highest number of deaths of COVID virus. California, New York, and Florida. You can ask the Department of Health. Go ask them. True story. Go ask Christopher Wray. True story. The director of the FBI. Go ask the Secretary of Homeland, Alejandro Mayorkas. Go ask the director of the CIA, William Burns. True story. Suicide murders happen under the eyes of Janet Rubio, and she takes the cash from Michael Mass to never fight for a neighborhood that gets a suicide murder under the sun of the Florida sun. They call themselves Christians. They call themselves believers in Jesus. They lie. Jesus opened his mouth and screamed when he suffered in the cross. He screamed. Amanda Rubio doesn't scream for nobody. This is Amanda Rubio at the beach. Letting people die. She lets people die. She lets people die. Anthony Rubio, the same thing. He lets people die. Because they never cry, they never scream. Not even on their American flag. Suicide murders happen in Florida. And I'm the only one that fights. I'm Molly Sketches tonight from Elizabeth, New Jersey. United States, by the way. Loser.